President Biden committed $21 billion that will go to some of it to the two institutions, World Bank, IDA framework, and Africa Development Bank's Africa Development Fund program, which we are discussing here today. The replenishment, the $25 billion Adesina is looking for the Africa Development Fund. And today, Mr. President, we are furthering that conversation with the confirmations we're going to make to enhance significant funding, concessional resources to Africa Development Fund so that we can meet the targets where we wanted, concessional funding, long-term resources, and at scale. I hope I have made a good case and I have met the pass mark. Your Excellencies, I acknowledge the insightful remarks you have made on Africa's prospects. Your words underline the critical need to match our continent's immense potential with corresponding concessional financing and action. I reiterate that there is a clear necessity for increased funding in the next replenishment cycle of Africa Development Fund with a target of not less than US $25 billion. Looking ahead, the Africa Development Bank will be central in addressing Africa's challenges by financing climate change mitigation, adaptation, green industrialization, and closing the infrastructure gap in rail, in road networks, internet, broadband, energy, and the development of our ports. As we celebrate the Africa Development Bank's 60th anniversary here in Nairobi, it is vital for us as African leaders to support the bank's transformative role by supporting its access to concessional resources for our continent's transformation. Additionally, it is time, as I said, to support an African-created rating agency that will provide accurate and fair assessment of Africa's economic realities and status. It is said in our country that poverty cannot be shared. What can be shared is wealth and prosperity. And so, Kenya can only be prosperous in a thriving continental neighborhood. That is why last week, as an engaged the American government, 60% of the time I spent prosecuting Africa's agenda, and 40% of the time I spent pushing Kenya's agenda, because I understand that there cannot be a prosperous Kenya without a thriving Africa. And therefore, I want to state without fear of any contradiction that the progress and transformation of Kenya is intertwined with that of Africa. Kenya is honored to host this meeting, and we take the boards and management of the two institutions, we thank them for this privilege. I have already requested that after hosting Africa Development Bank's annual meeting 30 years ago in 1994, and again today in 2024, it would be fair and fitting for Kenya to host again in 2054. I am told by my brother Evangelist Adesina that my request is under consideration. I would request that this decision be made early, because neither we nor the decision makers then might be fit enough to do so 30 years from now. Once again, I welcome you all to Nairobi and Kenya and wish you fruitful deliberations during this annual meeting of the African Development Bank and African Development Fund. I urge you to take time to sample the delights that Kenya has to offer, including a national park, which is just 10 minutes away from here. Thank you very much. Happy 60th anniversary, Africa Development Bank. Thank you.